We are here. It is episode 3 of That Actor Couple. My name is Jesse Malinowski, alongside my beautiful wife, Miss Candace Malinowski. Candace, how are you today?
I'm good.
It's good to see you.
It's good to see you.
I mean, I guess we're together a lot of the time.
We're together a lot.
We just came upstairs. But
Yeah.
you got real pretty. So it's good to see you.
Oh, so I wasn't pretty before?
You were pretty before, but, you really did yourself up nice. You look good.
Thanks. Thank you.
What? How come people can't just give how come?
I'm just playing with you.
How come the girls do this?
No. See, you can't do that. You can't keep saying the girls. Like, you can't categorize.
How come sometimes
because
girls
it's not
do this?
1995 and we can't just say that anymore. So
what movie did we watch where we were like, what? It was Ryan Reynolds. And he
I
was
don't
like
know
grabbing
because it was really the worst thing
Just Friends.
It was the worst movie I've ever seen in my entire life.
Aaron Shout and David Martin made us watch Just Friends.
Well, to be clear, because they're going to hear this and then get really upset, they didn't make us do anything.
That's true.
We put all the things in a hat and then we drew one out, and that's the one we watched. That was the Christmas movie that we watched this week.
Yeah, we were going to watch a Christmas movie, so everyone put one in the hat, and so we chose, and Just Friends was chosen, and Candace hated that movie. But we were both very surprised because Ryan Reynolds was like, trying, like, Anna Faris was playing this like really crazy character, and he was like grabbing her. And
I mean, everybody was being grabbed in that movie. It was a different time. You could just grab women and say things like, why do the girls do X, Y, Z? It was like crazy. You should tell them, though, what was the movie that you put in the hat in case they want to see other movies. Don't watch Just Friends.
Don't watch Just Friends. I agree. I put in Four Christmases.
Oh, my gosh.
What do you mean? You knew I put in Four Christmases.
Oh, well, no, I actually didn't know. I thought we were definitely going to watch that, so I thought maybe you put in something different.
No, Four Christmases is the best. What did you put in? You put in Rare Exports.
I put in Rare Exports, which is
a scary movie.
It's not scary. It's a little-known foreign holiday gem. If you haven't seen it, you should watch the trailer.
I think it's about Santa Claus killing people.
I mean, I'm not saying it's not about that, but what I am saying is I don't like scary movies, so it's not scary like horror like that. It's more like I feel like it's more like a thriller.
All right.
Rare Exports.
Well, let's act. So A is and just if you're new here, every single week we act. A, meaning we're going to tell you what's going on in our actor life so you have a real transparent idea of what's going on in an actor's universe. I feel like there's so many different actors and friends, and they get together and they're like, any auditions lately? What's going on in your actor life? And they're just like trying to figure out what's actually going on. And if they're not getting auditions, you're like, is it slow for other people? And I try to get people to not worry about this, but I don't think we're going to be able to do it. So I guess we just joined in. So that's A. And then C, talking about something going on in the community. And then T, a takeaway that you can take away for your week.
How long is it going to take you to make that transition smooth?
I don't know.
This is the third time that it's been weird.
Well, I'll rehearse it before we come in here next time.
Okay.
All right, what's going on in your actor life? How many we got auditions this week. We did.
Well, I finished up on the Lifetime movie.
Oh, yes, that's right.
Yeah, so I had my
work.
last day of filming. It was one of those days where it was night for night, and let me tell you about how much I hate the cold.
You hate it.
Like, I honestly don't love acting that much to be in the cold. However, I did it because I'm a champ. But the girl, it was like really nice. Everybody was super cool and connected with the director. And so, so that was fun. So I finished that up. And then
You started and ended the year freezing your tushy off because we started the year in January filming when it was ridiculously cold.
It was 19 degrees.
And then you are now ending the year in December, also filming at night outside when it was like 22 degrees.
Well, there's not, like, for my perfect temperature, there's less months of that during the year than there are the months that I'm freezing. Because once it drops below 75, I'm cold. So I get like 2 months where I'm like a little happy lizard, and then I'm not happy anymore.
No.
Then I'm inside.
The amount that we fight over the air conditioning is insane. Like literally she walks by it, turns it to like 80, and then I immediately feel it. Like I could be doing anything and I'm like, the heat's on, or it got warm in here. My body feels it immediately. Then I go on the phone and then I turn it off, and then she walks by it and she's like, I thought I turned this on. And it's just an ongoing battle.
Everyone knows this if they're married or they live with someone.
Yeah, no, that's true.
It's just something that happens.
Yeah.
So I finished up the Lifetime movie, and then I had I'm gonna call it a heavy co-star because to distinguish between like
Yeah, multiple scenes.
a one-liner and not. So one heavy co-star, one guest star this week, which like I'm thrilled about.
Yeah. What were they for?
Well, I don't know that I want to mention the projects necessarily.
Oh, I'll mention them.
Okay. That's cool. So when they come and get you, they can get you and not me.
I didn't sign an NDA for these.
I think it's like,
Everyone
implied.
knows Will Trent is filming.
No, yeah, that's fine.
And then literally we're going to kind of talk about that. So, well, we don't know what Candace auditioned for, everyone. It's a secret. And I auditioned for Will Trent and RJ Decker, and then also a movie in Florida. Shout out Lori Wyman. And for that, I said I would work local because my aunt lives there and I have a friend that lives in South Florida. You needed to be able to work local there. And just like a quick thing to, I think, talk about like within that, right? It's like my Florida agent reached out and was like, hey, like, do you want to do this? Is this going to be worth it to you? You obviously have to like work local. And so it's like before I'm auditioning, I am considering what is going to have to happen, right? If this shoots one day, is it worth it for me to drive down there or fly down there and work local and find somewhere to stay and, possibly lose money on this project? And for me, for this particular project, I'm like, yeah, this sounds like really fun. Like, I'm from Florida. I'd love to be like brought back there to like film a movie. My character, I think, would also have to like, I don't know if he'd be in a pool or the ocean or something, but have to be in water. And I like the water. I used to be a lifeguard. And so I was like, yeah, this whole thing sounds really cool to me. And so then I'm like, yes, let's do it. And, fingers crossed, maybe, this character is throughout the movie and it ends up being a big role. And, then it really works out. But I'm looking at it before auditioning. What's the worst case scenario? Worst case scenario is we shoot all my scenes in one day. I make scale, I work local, I pretty much make no money. Do I still want to do it? And
yeah, I think you should. That's a really good point, though, because it's like you have the ability to do that and not be stressed. Like what you don't want is to say you're going to work local, but because of that, you like can't get the time off from your job, then you're like stressed about doing that, or you can't get someone to watch your dogs, or you know what I mean? I think like because actors just want to do things so badly, sometimes they'll say they can work local and then it becomes this huge headache for them and it just like wasn't necessary. So in your case, you didn't feel like no part of that would have been stressful for you, right?
Well, I mean, I think some parts of, if let's say I like end up booking the job, right? I mean, I don't know, when I'm filming. I mean, I'm sure in the moment there'll be some moments that are stressful, but
the part where you have to get in the ocean
maybe,
in March.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But I'm ready to make the decision. I'm ready to figure it out, you know? It's not a, "Oh, yes," and then, "Oh, I didn't realize this is what was gonna have to happen," you know? Like, I'm ready for the potential stress and ready to figure it out, essentially. And I think that's the big thing to, like, understand, um, if you are trying to work local elsewhere. And I think it's important to, like, keep in mind that, you know, uh, I don't know, we can't be angry at productions for doing their budgets and saying these roles we want to find local and pay X amount of dollars. But then if you have more credits or more experience, you're like, well, they owe me more. It's like, well, no, they don't have to hire you, they can hire someone else, and that's their plan right now. So it doesn't mean you can't ask, it doesn't mean you can't try to negotiate, but it's, you can't do like a trickaroo on them, right? Like, yeah, 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 I'll work local. Well, wait a second. Now, I mean, did you see my resume? Like, now I think you should pay for my travel because I got 50 credits. Like,
Yeah, you definitely can't trickaroo them.
what's wrong with trickaroo?
That's literally no one's ever said that
I just
since
said
like
it.
the 1950s.
Well, I'm trying to
Definitely don't trickaroo casting in the future.
I thought that word was fine.
Yeah, that's why you said it. People are gonna be like, "What's a trickaroo?" I don't even know.
Every single person knows what I just said.
Yeah, they know. They heard you, but
No, they know what it means. Oh gosh, I'm kind of crying now.
because you're embarrassed.
A little.
I would be. All right, so you had this audition.
Yeah, so I auditioned for a movie in Florida. I figured out all the local stuff, and figured that out. And then I had two good auditions, Will Trent, RJ Decker. So I feel like it's been busy. It's been busy over here. All you people saying it's slow. Not true. Not true. Anything else you want to say within your actor week? Was it sad being like done with the Lifetime movie, or are you like how are you with that? Like if you think about like
No.
stage, no, you're like, I'm done. Like I'm ready to move on.
Well, I'm not sad because I don't have a limiting belief that I'm never going to book again.
That's good.
I'm also not sad because I do a lot of other stuff and I have a lot of other things I like. And by a lot of other things, I mean, I really like going to the gym.
Yeah, I'm like, you mean you like working out?
So, like, I'm not sad when something is done because I believe it'll happen again. And because there are other things that I get just as much fulfillment out of. And I'm not one of those actors that's like, well, I'm on set right now, so I'm just not gonna self-submit. I'm not gonna do anything else. Like, I'm just gonna do this one thing. So for me, it's just another kind of, thing in my timeline. So no, I'm not sad about it.
Yeah, I do think like what you just said is a good point though, because I think sometimes actors will get to that, right? Where and what I mean specifically is you're like, I'm not going to not self-submit to things just because I'm filming, because I think that often, whether it's like getting a big gig and now I can quit my job, or
That's
yeah,
crazy.
yeah, it's like, understand that it's like you want to juggle all the things. That's how you're going to be really successful at this. Like if you book a good job and you have a 9 to 5, or you have another gig where you're making money, like don't get rid of that. Like just stack your cash, stack your money. And same thing, it's like, well, just because you're filming one thing doesn't mean you're just immediately going to get the next gig. Do things and take action to set yourself up to like have them keep rolling over. So I think that's a good point to bring up. Well, community going on in the community. I feel like one of the things that's going on, and you did it with your Will Trent audition, is you did.
Thanks for telling them what I auditioned for.
You know what? Fine. How were you going to talk about this and not talk about Will Trent?
I was just going to talk about live auditioning in general.
No. You know what? I'm going to let you segue it. You do it. All right, let's do the
Okay.
C.
Well, first of all, every single time we do this, I can't remember how to spell act. So that's a problem.
That's a huge problem.
Yeah. So in the community, I think something that a lot of actors have questions on or feel a certain way about and they don't really know what to do is the live auditioning. So I think a lot of actors don't know, is it better to do live auditions? Is it better to do a live audition that's inconvenient as opposed to do a self-tape that's convenient? Different casting directors will do this a different way. Like Matt Sefik, for instance, has a really specific way that he likes to do it that's different. And,
And how do you know that?
Well, you didn't have to ask me that question, though. See, the segue was working just fine. You didn't actually have to ask me the question.
Fine.
You just weren't creative enough to figure out how to do it without saying the things.
All right. Well, you're so creative. That's
I know.
why I love you so much, because of your creativity.
Yeah. And I'm funny.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah. So do you have any thoughts on the live auditioning, the live audition as an option? Do you think actors should take that all the time? Do you think it's better than the self-tape? What are your thoughts?
I think it is casting director dependent. And, just to do a plug right now, that's why I think, really making sure that you've seen all the episodes of Get Seen Unscripted, because I think there's a lot, like, for instance, like Rebecca Carfagna over at RPM with Megan Lewis. I mean, they definitely want you to do it. And I've heard of actors not doing it and doing it. And, maybe coincidence, maybe not, but the actors that do it end up booking. So I definitely think it's casting director specific. So I think RPM is one, like like Feldstein Paris, for an example. I don't know if it makes a difference for them. And the reason being, right, if you think about it, it's not because like Feldstein Paris doesn't like live auditions, right? But if you think about how Feldstein Paris came up, they came up always self-taping. Rebecca Carfagna and Megan Lewis, they were doing in-person auditions literally as long as they could. And they didn't do the self-tape for a long, long time. And then finally they kind of had to. So I think they kind of miss it and they want to be interacting with the actor. Not that Feldstein Paris doesn't want to, but it's just like that's kind of how they came up. And for the last 12 years or however long they've been casting, they've always done self-tapes. So I think, if you think of like Bream Doyle, Erica Bream and Amanda Linker Doyle, they both came from Los Angeles where they were doing in-persons for a long time, and then they had to transition to the self-tape. So I think probably doing live audition with them could be probably beneficial as well. So I think it's really casting director specific.
I wouldn't do it at the expense of performing well, though. Like, I always believe in controlling your controllables. And if you're super busy or the only time they have available, because what's happening is you're going to get on a Zoom, they're going to record that Zoom, and that becomes your self-tape. So like for me, I love the way that I look in my self-tapes because I've contrived it that way. I know exactly how the lighting's going to look.
I know?
No, I know too.
You know how to do it?
I mean, I know when I look good and when I don't look good.
That's true.
So, on Zoom, there's not as much that you can control. So I know that like 99% of the time I'm going to send a tape because I want to put my best foot forward. Because if I have this gorgeous self-tape next to someone's Zoom camera, I just think I have a better shot because I think I look more expensive. And that's something Jason Lockhart always says is you want to look expensive. You're getting paid over $1,000 a day to do a job. You want to look like you should be paid that. However, if it's a casting director, maybe I haven't seen in a long time, maybe I'll do a live Zoom, but I'm normally always doing the self-tape because I really like the way I look in them. However, I do think that if you can, normally it's super, super quick. So it's a little annoying. But if you can get on the Matt Sefik Zooms, that is a very unique experience because you can literally ask whatever questions you want, which you normally are just making up your own opinion on what's going on in the scene. But you can ask like really specific questions and like multiple questions, and they'll answer them for you. So I do think that's kind of cool. But sorry, I'm going off on a tangent now.
Do it, girl, do it.
However, this is something that I experience, and it might be helpful for other people. I like the Matt Sefik Zooms, but I don't want to see the other people on there. And I don't want to see the other people asking question. Like, I know everyone else in Atlanta in my category is getting the audition. However, I like know that, but I don't really want to like see the other 20 girls auditioning for the same role, right?
Why? It psychs you out, or what?
Yeah,
Like,
it's just a little bit of, I mean, it's not that serious, right? Like, I'm still doing it, but it's a little bit of like, oh, of course they're auditioning. Like, they're probably gonna book it, or well, they're auditioning. Like, they're completely different than me. Like, man, are they gonna want me because I'm super generic white blonde girl?
yeah, I know what you
So
mean.
I think, it's good to ask your question, but maybe like listen to the audio or minimize your screen so you can't see all the other people on there. That's what I have found is helpful for me, because again, I'm not an idiot. Like, I know all of my friends are auditioning for the same thing, but
Well, you
like,
can put it in speaker view, right?
yeah, but I can still see the people like on the top.
Oh, yeah, that's
Yeah.
right, that's right. So you'll still, I mean, but you'll only, I guess like you'll see 4 people. You'll see Matt Sefik, you'll see Lauren,
Yeah, but then I'm like, oh, they're talking about another character. Let me just see who's on this Zoom right now.
Well, you can't, don't do
No,
that.
I know. I'm just saying that is how I would
You
go
gotta
about
step
it.
away from the computer.
Is like just listen to it until they start talking about your character.
Yeah, you gotta
Because
step
I think
away.
it can be a little.
But I know
I
what
just
you
don't
mean.
like to see it. It's just.
I know what you mean. Like, even, like Josh Ventura, Jonathan Pulowski, Chris Mayers, like anytime
Okay, wow,
I see
you're
those,
like naming people.
yeah, of course. I mean, because I'm giving them like a shout out. Like, when I see those guys, I'm like, oh man, like, sometimes those guys will book over me, and so I'm like, shoot, they're here too. Like, I'm just saying, like, I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll give them a shout out. They do a good job. They do a good job here. And yeah, I think that makes sense. How long does the Matthew Sefik thing go? I haven't sat in on it before.
It's long.
See, that's the problem I don't like. Is like, or because any kind of procedural is going to be, I don't know. We'll just say there's 10 characters. So it's like, so they're going through all 10 characters,
And
you're
they do the
auditioning for
children
one.
first.
Oh my gosh, the children.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like,
Yeah, I mean, but normally it's at like 3:00 in the afternoon. So you can kind of like put it on while you're doing something else. But again, I do think it's a unique experience in that you can literally ask whatever you want and they're chill about it.
the thing with that though, not to stay on this for too long, but I'm like, I think sometimes though people just ask questions to ask questions.
Well, right. I can't control everyone. However, I'm there for me, not for everyone else. So as long as my questions get answered, people can ask all the silly stuff they want.
Right. But for me, I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, is that question really going to help you?
But it doesn't matter. I'm not
Yeah.
there to control the other people.
No. It takes up time though.
Yes, it does take up time.
It does take up time. All right, cool. Well, yeah. So, all right. So then what's just, I think, well, yeah. So I think, what I think the main kind of point of this story is just like, I think switch some things up. Like sometimes go in person, see how you feel about that.
Well, not in person, but
or-
live.
Well, yeah, live. Yeah, thanks. Do it live, do the self-tape, and see how it, at least give yourself a shot. I think right now we're just in the habit of self-tape. So I think switch it up for yourself and see what happens, I think is smart.
Unless you're a control freak like me.
Well, no, you're like going to the Sefik Zoom, so you're doing things a little differently. You're not just doing the self-tape.
Yeah.
If anything, I need to do different things because I'm always just taping. All right, cool. Yeah, to be honest, sometimes I forget. I think one other thing to remember is that SAG like put the rule in for casting to have to give you the live session. So, I think just like if you just think about what like just people being human, right? Is like they might not want to do it. Like I know that and it doesn't mean like you can't get it if you do the live, but they might like honestly just might not want to. So it's like consider that as well, which I think is just an interesting thought. But it just goes back to I think get to know casting the best that you can. Get seen, if you will. And just learn about them and see what's best for each casting director.
Yeah.
All right. Well, to get to the T, a takeaway for everyone is, what I thought was give yourself a shot. So I had like I said, I had that Florida audition, and I hadn't edited it, and I directions, everyone. You guys know how we stress these directions. I had missed the directions when I first taped it, and then when I was getting ready to upload it, I re-looked at the instructions and realized that I had to get video of myself swimming in a pool. And I was like, oh my gosh. One, I think it was like 20 degrees in Atlanta. So I wasn't going outside to swim in a pool that day. And I don't have like a membership to LA Fitness. So I was like, and it was due in like less than 24 hours at that point. And so I was like, what the heck? But I figured it out. And I feel like I just have so many of these stories in my life of like maybe taping on vacation or whatever, but just like you got to figure it out. You just got to figure it out. And so the idea and the takeaway is like give yourself a shot to win, right? Give yourself the shot. So what that means is I could have just been like, "Ah, shoot, I messed up and I don't know how to get to a pool." Like that was not an option to me. Like when I was like, "Oh shoot, I got to get myself swimming." I'm like, I'm just going to figure it out. And then I text Tony DeMille and was like, "Yo, I know you got a membership at LA Fitness. Can I come with you on a guest pass today?" And so Tony hooked me up and sent me a special link, and then I was able to like get to the pool and do it by myself. But it's just like I'm going to figure this out. I'm going to do it. And so it might not be ideal sometimes, but just give yourself the shot to win. Give yourself the opportunity. And if you come up with excuses of why you can't do it, you're like, "Oh, my mom was in town. Oh, I missed it. Oh, it's cold. Oh, I don't have a membership to." I could have come up with excuses all day long of why I couldn't get that in. And, oh, well, I probably won't get it anyway. It's like, no, but then I absolutely am not going to get it. I need to like give myself the opportunity to win. So to me, that was like a big takeaway I had this week of to like just give yourself the chance.
What I like about that too is you weren't like, well, they probably don't need it anyway. Because I think sometimes people can not follow directions and be like, oh, it's not that big of a deal, or they don't really need that, or, they're kind of making an excuse for not wanting to do the thing or not being able to do the thing. And so I think that's also good that you didn't just kind of discount it like that as well.
Yeah, I've just heard way too many stories of casting. It's there for a reason. I remember this one Lori Wyman story, and this is why she like asked for specific things. It was long story short, it was essentially like someone said that they would shave. They needed to be shaven, and so they said that they would shave. Or sorry, I forget exactly what it was, but essentially they needed to shave. And so when they got to Florida, they're like, "Well, I'm on this show in Atlanta. I can't." And so she's like, that's never happening to me again. So now if I make them say it so I can see it from their mouth, in the slate. And so like moving forward, you might just be like, "Oh, they know I'll shave," but you don't realize that like Lori Wyman got screwed over one time, so she's like, that's not going to happen to me again because she got put into a bad position. Right. So for her, that's a safety thing. And I've heard her say like, "Oh, like if you don't do what I ask in the slate, your tape just goes in the garbage because it's not worth the risk to her.
Yeah, I mean, that's why, people on Reddit can say whatever they want to say, but like, we're
Talking
not.
about us?
Yeah, but I'm like,
Yeah.
you know,
We have some positive Reddit stuff.
I didn't say we didn't,
Yeah,
but
people
I'm
usually...
just like, it's not that difficult to read the directions and follow them. It's disrespectful to not follow the directions that someone has requested. And like, are there stories where maybe that works out for someone? Sure. But do you really, like, we work so hard to get the auditions, and there are, I mean, I would want to say, millions of people who would kill to have an audition for anything. And you're going to be so flippant, you can't figure out how to label your file right. You can't figure out how to upload a separate clip. You can't figure out how to get the footage. You can't figure, like, it's just crazy to me that you're gonna like freak out and want these things and say you want it so bad, but you can't be bothered when the time comes to do it correctly. Like,
Right.
that's why it's such a big soapbox for us, because it's like, again, this is a controllable you can control, and you should give yourself the best shot to win.
Yes. 100%. I love it. So that's the takeaway today, everyone.
Also, don't trickaroo casting. That's the other takeaway.
Don't trickaroo casting. Whatever. Anyway, everyone, thank you so much for spending some time with us. We hope that you got something out of today, and similar to me, I guess, had some laughs as well, because Candace is so funny. Or would I be the funny one because I said trickaroo?
I mean, we can ask for people to comment, but I wouldn't want to make you feel bad.
Wow. I'm not going to feel bad if people think you're funny.
Oh, well, it's not an if people
Funny
think...
looking.
You're like literally stuck in 2005. It's so crazy. Your mom.
Okay.
All
well,
right.
Everyone, by the way, we have our Southeast Actor Summit coming up. It's 3 incredible days, almost like a conference style big event. So be sure to sign up for our Southeast Actor Summit. We already have confirmed Raven Drummer, Mark Fincannon, George Pierre, Amanda Linker Doyle. That's just some of the industry pros, along with incredible instructors and Pat Dortch, Dwayne Boyd, Aaron Burns. I'm forgetting people, but just understand that it is going to be a fantastic, fantastic event. And again, we're in ultra early bird special right now, so you can get all 3 days for less than $100 a day. So go ahead and grab your ticket. It's going to continue to go up. I promise you're not going to regret the decision to join us at that summit. So we hope to see you there. And this is That Actor Couple. Again, I'm Jesse Malinowski alongside my awesome, so funny wife, Candace Malinowski.
Yep. All right, bye.